Hey friends, the DeFi Doctor here. I'm the head of education at Decentralized Masters, where we break down crypto so you don't get wrecked. Today, we're talking about something that haunts every investor. When should you take profits? Let's be real, selling is hard. When prices are skyrocketing, you feel like a genius, and you convince yourself that your coin is going to 100x from here. Why sell now when it could go higher? And then bam, the market crashes, your gains evaporate, and suddenly you're holding bags instead of profits. I've been there myself. I've held on to winners for too long, watched insane gains turn into losses, and trust me, it stings. This is why understanding when and why to take profits is crucial, especially in crypto where everything moves fast. Let's break it all down. The psychology of taking profits. The first thing we need to talk about is psychology. Greed is real. When prices are pumping, our brains tell us, keep holding because it feels like free money. But the problem is, markets do not go up forever. If you do not have a profit-taking plan, you will ride the wave up and then right back down. I've seen this play out every cycle. In 2017, people held altcoins that went up thousands of percent. They thought they were going to retire. Then the 2018 crash wiped out 90% of their positions. Fast forward to 2021, the same story repeated itself, except this time it was new investors making the same mistakes. You have to fight the urge to be greedy and lock in those gains before the market turns. When to take profits. There is no perfect moment to sell. But there are key signs that tell you when it is time to start cashing out. One of the biggest signals is a parabolic price action. If a coin is going up too fast, too quickly, that is a warning sign. Nothing in crypto goes straight up forever. No asset anywhere does. If something has already done a 10x or a 20x in a short period of time, it is probably near the local top. I have made it a rule to take at least partial profits when I see a ridiculous pump because 9 times out of 10, a pullback is coming. Another moment to take profits is when everyone, literally everyone, is talking about the market. When your barber, your cousin, and that one friend who never cared about crypto before are suddenly asking how to buy, that is usually the peak of the cycle. If you were around in 2021, you remember Dogecoin at 70 cents, right? Everyone thought it was going to $1, and then it never did. Taking profits into hype will always save you pain later. Bitcoin moves in 4-year cycles, largely based on halving events. Historically, after each halving, Bitcoin rallies for a year or two, peaks, and then we enter a bear market. If you know this pattern, you know that the best time to take profits is when we are deep into the bullish phase, because after that, winter is coming. Now let's get into actual profit-taking strategies. One of my personal favorites is the laddered out approach. Instead of trying to time the absolute top, I sell in portions as the price climbs. Let's say I'm holding onto a coin that is up already 5 times. I might sell 20% when it hits that level, and another 20% if it goes to 7 times. And I just keep scaling out as it moves higher. This way, I lock in gains, but still have exposure if it keeps running. The biggest mistake people make is going all in or all out. Instead, you want to scale out of your position gradually. Another approach is setting price targets in advance. Before I even buy a coin, I set realistic targets for where I will take profits. If I'm investing in an altcoin and I believe that it has a 5x potential, I already have a plan to start selling at that level. This removes emotions from the equation and keeps me disciplined. One thing I always do is convert some profits into stablecoins. Cashing out into USDT or USDC or even DAI gives me dry powder to buy dips again. The goal is not to exit crypto completely. It is to have reserves ready for the next opportunity. In past cycles, I've watched my portfolio soar, failed to take enough profits, and then have no cash to buy when the market crashed. Never again. Why taking profits is crucial. Taking profits is not just about making money. It is about protecting your wealth. Imagine holding a coin that went up 50 times, but then you never sold, and it crashed back down. That is not a gain. That is just an unrealized fantasy. Gains are only real when you take them. I've met people who made millions on paper during bull markets, but then lost it all during a bear market. Why? Because they never actually secured their profits. The key to long-term success in crypto is not just riding the bull market, but surviving the bear market. If you take profits strategically, you will not just be surviving, you will be thriving. The best investors think long-term. They do not let greed dictate their decisions. They always have an exit strategy. If you are up big on a trade, ask yourself, would I regret not selling if the price dropped tomorrow? If the answer is yes, take some profit. You do not have to sell everything, but locking in gains gives you freedom, security, and the ability to reinvest when the time is right. So if you've been sitting on massive gains but have not taken anything off the table, consider this your wake-up call. Do not be the person who had life-changing money but did not take it. Plan your exits, scale out of positions, and always remember, profits are not real until you take them. Thanks for tuning in to another Decentralized Masters crypto class. If you found this useful, subscribe and hit that like button. And let me know in the comments if you have any cryptocurrencies that you're thinking you should take profits on. Stay sharp, my friends, stay decentralized, and I'll see you in the next class.